You're listening to the BS Podcast, where we cover all of the bull in the news and more. Now, welcome your hosts, Dave and Zach.
Hello and welcome to the BS Podcast, where we talk the absurd, the ridiculous, and yes, the bullshit. I am Dave, and joining me is my partner, Zach. Zach, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. It's been a good morning from the sunny Baltimore, Maryland.
Excellent. Yes. Well, so things are starting to heat up a little bit. The weather getting better where you are?
Finally getting better. It's like 70-ish, I think, today, but then it's going to get cold. I think by the weekend, I was planning on doing some work on my house. Then I was like looking up the weather, like it's going to go back down to like 50 degrees. So
yeah. You got a low pressure system moving in from the west, which will bring a lot of moisture and some turbulence in the air.
I don't know.
Over here in Tampa, the Gulf is high. We have a high over the Gulf, and we're moving in with a crisp breeze of 15 miles an hour. Expect highs around 80, 82 over the weekend.
We'll have to start doing a meteorologist segment.
That's enough about the weather, Zach. Yeah. That's a bunch of bullshit. Guys talking about the weather. No, not really. Because, it's funny. It gets boring, but it actually does matter because you go outside, and it's important to know what's going on.
Yeah. We should do bullshit weather with Dave and Zach. We'll do a whole segment just on the bullshit weather going on.
I would love that. In another life, I'd like to be a meteorologist. I think it'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, it'd be a fun job. You'd be wrong 100% of the time and still have a job.
Yeah. It's like, forecasting stocks and stuff like that. As long as you can do it in an entertaining way, it doesn't matter if you're right or if you're wrong. So that's interesting, right? Maybe the real bullshit is that people don't like to talk about the weather. That's the real bullshit in the world. Why not talk about the weather?
Because it pisses everyone off. How many times have you or someone else made plans and then they got fucked up because of the weather? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the weather is bullshit most of the time.
Especially you, because you're down in Florida. Like, how many times you've had to deal with a damn hurricane?
Hurricanes, rainstorms, gas. But here, it gets to be, for the most part, the days tend to run the same, and with the exception of like a thunderstorm or something like that. Now we're basically like 80 degrees and sunny, and it'll be like that until November.
Yeah.
All right. So what else has been before we get into all our stories? But I want to run through our topics, and then I want to hear what's been pissing you off. I want to hear hyper local news for Zach, and I've got some hyper local as well. So here we are. Let me run down here. When will the lockdown end? We got some news from Dr. Fauci. Oh no, sweet toilet paper. Got a story on that. Now we got to deal with radiation. Oh my goodness, Zach found this one, and I don't even want to touch this one. We got more natural disasters, and then everyone's favorite Florida news, and then some dog and cat news in Shenzhen, China, and then a new. I don't really know if I want to call it a new section, but I'm calling it elite hypocrisy. We got three stories on. The way our elites are sort of telling us to do one thing and doing another thing for themselves because they're very special. So we're going to get into all of that. Zach, give me some hyper-local news, buddy.
All right. Well, the biggest thing that pissed me off, this happened yesterday, actually. So I was taking my dog for a walk, and this has been bigger bullshit than, we've been doing this podcast. But I cannot stand when dogs take dumps and they grab the plastic bag like you're supposed to do to clean it up, and they leave the dog shit in the plastic bag laying on the ground. It's better if you're not going to throw it in a trash can, just leave the dog crap on the ground. At least that way it'll melt and fertilize the grass or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a farmer. I don't know how that works. I do know that the whole point of the plastic bag is to wrap up the dump and to throw it in the trash can.
Yeah, what's the plan here? Is it is the trash just too far away, or
maybe they don't want to carry around their dog's turds in a bag? But it's bullshit.
Yeah, so you don't get like brownie points for just putting it in the bag, tying it up, and leaving it on the ground. What the hell is that? Oh, that's annoying. I'm the same way, and I got my dog, and I've stepped in. Okay, so I'm not even saying like I'm a good citizen. I just don't. I don't like stepping in dog shit.
Does anybody, Dave?
No. So it's not like I don't care about like my dog or like keeping up after her. Because I know like one day later I'm just gonna step in it myself. So I'm just saving myself the trouble, and of course eventually it'll help save everyone else the trouble of having to step in it. And it's just really disgusting and can carry disease. So maybe their argument would be like, well, at least I wrapped it. It's not spreading anything. All right, so I've got some hyperlocal news, some things that have been ticking me off. Got some personal bullshit I've been dealing with. One is, well, it's actually good. I thought it was in the middle of next week. I think I told you, Zach, that I was starting to feel like I was getting sick, and I was getting really worried.
Yeah.
I've gotten over that, I think. So I guess it was just a cold, maybe. I don't think it was allergies, which is weird because I'm not coming in contact with anybody. So who did I get the cold from? I have no idea what's going on.
It's in your head. You need to take like a placebo pill and see if you start feeling better.
It's got to be, right? It's like I think the doctor I need to see is a psychiatrist.
Telemedicine.
Yeah, that's it. I feel like I've got it. Well, I'm slightly holding out hope that I actually did get the coronavirus, and it was nothing but a couple of sniffles for a few days, and my superior immune system defeated it. That's really what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping like a couple of months down the road, I get that antibody test and I got it, and I'll be like, yes. How about you? Have you been getting any like sniffles or anything and start worrying, or is it just mostly me?
Probably just you. My wife has really bad allergies, so I'm up in my office. I keep hearing her down there sneezing her ass off, and I'm like, great. Like, is that you, Corona? Like, what is going on here? She hasn't left the house, so I don't know how she would have gotten it.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, what? Yeah, but I mean, that's a whole other can of worms. If your spouse basically gets it, so what do you do there? I mean, is it solidarity or like total excommunication and throw the leper out the door?
I think at that point, I would just be doomed to get it.
Yeah,
yeah,
be pretty hard to avoid, right?
Oh yeah.
A couple other things going on with me is, with all this, we can't go to restaurants, and sometimes. Depending, I don't know how well your fridge is stocked still if you've been venturing out, whatever. Sometimes you kind of need something, or you just don't feel like cooking, and get a little variety, get some takeout or delivery. It's a real crapshoot. I'm not a big fan. It really depends on. I mean, you could order the same thing from the same place, and it can come up in two different conditions: cold, soggy, just generally not good. And we got some stuff. You're paying like $60 for delivery, and it sucks. That really is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I think the problem is that all these restaurants doing delivery now are all getting bogged down with so many delivery orders. They're not going to go back to the restaurant to grab every single person's delivery order. So they got a damn car full of like 20 deliveries. Your house might be the last one on the stop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Soggy bread.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Oh, absolutely. Have you found, you guys been cooking at home a lot, or are you doing?
Yep. That's all we've been doing. We order out like once a week because there's a restaurant near our house. Shout out Casamia's. Every order over 25, they give you a free roll of toilet paper.
Oh, really?
Yep. So we've been doing that once a week to keep up on our toilet paper woes.
Man. Well, someone needs to do that around here because,
they got access to that restaurant toilet paper. You know what I mean? The stuff the normal citizen can't buy.
They don't deliver to Florida, do they?
Just send me the toilet paper. I'll give you $25.
Yeah, forget the food. Oh, goodness. The other thing, I'm getting worn down on this. I'm tired of worrying about it.
Yeah.
And maybe I just need to stop worrying about it and embrace it, or just go with it. But I feel like it's like it's always in my head, and I want to think about other things other than contracting and.
Yeah, that's how I am. I'm starting to lose my damn mind. You know what I mean? Like running around the house, talking to myself.
What do you mean you're walking around your house talking to yourself?
I don't know. I haven't seen anybody in like 2 or 3 weeks. So now it's like, my wife works during the days on the bottom floor. So I'm upstairs, just like tripping on shit or doing something stupid and be like, what the hell are you doing, Zach? I stubbed my foot. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Like, I'm going crazy,
you walk
Dave.
in. So you're walking down your hallway. You open up the door. You're like, oh, hey, Jim. And you go in there, have a conversation.
I don't have fucking imaginary friends. But
who are you talking to then?
Myself.
What's better? Oh, goodness. All right. Well, wow. I mean, Is this not enough evidence that people are cracking?
Yeah.
We're losing it here. All right, buddy. Let's get into our topics of the day. Dr. Fauci says lockdown will continue until there are no new cases of COVID-19. Dr. Fauci, you're killing me here, buddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you mean no new cases? Like zero?
Yeah.
We're going to be locked down until then? When is that?
Fuck boy Fauci. That's what I call him. Yeah. What are we supposed to do, man? I mean, they just said, the White House just said the other day that it's going to be going on till what, like July 4th, maybe? Oh. You know what I mean? What the hell are we supposed to do with ourselves till then? You know, I mean, at least the people that are being responsible about and actually listen to the government's mandate about staying in the house. But I mean, Dave, mark my words. If we're all shut down and shelter in place until 4th of July, there will be houses burning down because there's going to be some idiots out there lighting fireworks off in their house. You know what I mean? Because this is America, and you're not going to not light fireworks on 4th of July.
Oh man, what are the laws about fireworks in Maryland?
Maryland laws, it's like you can have sparklers, ground fireworks. Like I know every year we have to drive above the Pennsylvania border, and they go to like the first fireworks station above there, and then we buy a shit ton and take them back. Yeah. So that's what pretty much everyone in Maryland does. And you know, it's funny when you go in the fireworks store, they ask to see your ID, and so they know you're buying them for. You know, they know you're a Maryland resident, you know, but they're just like, you can't take them outside of Pennsylvania. I'm like, all right, no, I'm not going to. Yeah.
I'm going to a party here in Pennsylvania, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, here in Florida, they let you launch things into the sky. So you can only imagine what the Florida news will be come July 4th. Who's doing what? Yeah. Launching things from God knows where. Maybe people. I mean, maybe they'll get creative. Maybe make their own personal rockets. Maybe that'll be the thing. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, this idea. This is almost from Dr. Fauci. This is bad. I mean, this is like, come on, man, you're killing us here. There's going to be a new case. I mean, for probably the next year. I mean, it's not gonna. There's no way we're going to completely eradicate this thing.
Yeah, no, they're not. Him and Trump are going to kill each other. It's like spouses getting divorced because they're all stuck in the house with each other 24/7. It's him and Fauci.
He's killing everybody. Oh, goodness. All right, let's move on to, oh no, sweet toilet paper. Big rig hauling TP crashes. Wow, this is a disaster. Now, you know, if you can't get takeout from the Italian place that delivers you or that brings a roll of toilet paper, you're hoping that a big rig carrying a bunch of toilet paper to your local store. This one in San Antonio, the thing, you know, it rolled over and crashed, and we just lost all this toilet paper, Zach. I mean, this was our last hope.
Precious cargo, Dave. Precious cargo.
This thing gone. Should they do like police escorts and stuff just to make sure this thing can get to its destination? Because at this point, things are getting really dire.
I don't know. Yeah, it's going to have to have like a government like police escort. So the toilet paper trucks are going to have to start doing. I've been rewatching Last Man on Earth, and you know, I keep thinking like, man, this is going to be our world soon. This is realistic. But there's one scene where Will Forte has like a giant pyramid of toilet paper, and he's setting it on fire for fun. I'm like, that is not realistic because the world is ending and we can't find any toilet paper. And now we really can't because the damn the truck like crashed and it's all ruined.
Oh, horrible. I mean, who would have thought? Because, yeah, I mean, here they are. They're writing a show. Obviously, it's comedic. But, you know, imagining things like, you know, what things you might need or whatever. And they apparently got that wrong. Unless you know, it's like, well, I guess you could burn money. I mean, toilet paper becomes more valuable than money at that point.
Yeah. It will be. It'll be the most expensive commodity on the planet. People are going to start selling like toilet paper futures. It's going to be toilet paper. The trading is going to go through the roof.
It'd be more valuable than gold. Yeah.
Take
a futures contract on toilet paper rolls. Oh, unbelievable. Well, very, very sad story indeed.
Yeah.
You know, this coronavirus BS, dealing with that. And now we got to deal with radiation. We get the story out of Ukrainian officials that alerted the people that the radiation levels in the Chernobyl exclusion zone spiked 17 times over normal. Background reading Sunday, as there's a wildfire rolling through.
Times. Like you said, we got to worry about coronavirus, and now it's the environment is falling apart, man. Like, I thought that shit was supposed to be getting better, and now it's 17 times worse. Come on, man.
It's like people talk. I mean, your mind goes to like, is this the end of the world kind of a thing? And it's just, things just seem to, I'm not saying it is, but things seem to just pile on top of each other, don't they?
Oh yeah. They completely pile. And it's like, you think about it, I'm like, okay, well, that's all the way in Ukraine. So at least we don't got to worry about that too much. But the nature's falling apart in the United States too. You know what I mean? It's like that earthquake out in Idaho.
Yeah, magnitude 6.5 earthquake felt in central Idaho. Goodness. And I think they were doing well with the coronavirus. So nature said, well.
Yeah. Nature throwing a big F you.
Yeah. How about I shake the ground underneath you? How does that
feel? The thing that I worried about, I can remember there was some like volcano movie when I was little growing up, and it scared the shit out of me. I would like lay awake at night and like I couldn't sleep because I was so scared of the possibility of like a volcano erupting. And there's no volcano nowhere near where I live, so it was completely ridiculous. But
was that Joe versus the volcano?
Yeah, the fact that this earthquake is like 400 miles from like Mount Hood, I think, like that's all we need is a major volcano eruption in like mainland United States. I mean, anywhere in the world, obviously, but like aren't we dealing with enough shit right now? They got radiation, earthquakes, volcanoes. Come on.
Now, I think you may have seen either. I said Joe versus the volcano, but that can't be it. I think there's a movie called Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones, and then there was also another one around. I think on the same year. Actually, it's one of those weird things where movies that have a similar theme come out in the same year, sort of like Armageddon and
I was thinking about the other day, what the hell was it with natural disaster movies?
Yeah.
When I was growing up, it was like 90s, the whole 90s was like just natural disaster movies. And that was it. We had all the comet movies, the volcano movies, Twister. I mean, it was like, I don't know if like technology and film production got to a point where they were like, we can make a volcano look pretty real in graphics. So let's just make a shit ton of movies.
Yeah, special effects got to the point where we can now we can like plausibly destroy the world on film. So let's do as many as we can. But man, yeah, I mean, I think the premise in all those movies is that there's like that giant. Is that what? I don't know. There's some giant volcano, super volcano, right? That's the theory, and then there's that thing that could happen every so many thousands of years, and it's just a matter of time. Might be in a million years, or it might be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. So earthquakes, volcanoes, something. We're not done yet. There's gonna be more.
Good thing this isn't going on during hurricane season.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the coronavirus can kill, or I'm sorry, maybe a hurricane can kill the coronavirus. I don't know.
It'll blow it away.
Looking for some help here. All right, that's all I had on that. Have you heard any more natural disaster news, Zach?
No, I don't think so.
All right, with that, let's dive into Florida news. Man spotted wearing homemade mask while grocery shopping. This is hilarious. He's got a white bucket with a face mask, and it's sort of like, you got to check this out. It's like maybe like a 4-gallon white bucket, and he cut it out and duct tape a face shield. But I got one better. I think. See, I can put this in, and this is here.
Louder, Dave.
You hear? The advantage here is it's clear. I got a 360 view. I can go. I'm analyzing. You check out what's going on over there. So this guy didn't do it right. So.
You need to figure out a way to hook that to you, like get a pair of suspenders or something, strap them on there, wear them, and then you can start selling it and start making a profit during these hard times.
I'm not. See, that's the thing. I'm not suffocating. It just. Whoops! It's just kind of bouncing around a little bit. It's not that bad. Somebody would come and knock it off, though. That's what.
That's what the strippers will wear in that place in Las Vegas we talked about 2 episodes ago. They'll wear the buckets on their heads.
From like Uber Eats?
Yeah, Uber Eats. That's right.
So so you can do. Well, that would work. Yeah, you could do your social distance thing. Put on a bucket. Get your food. Well, you got to eat first, and then get your lap dance.
I don't know. Some people might eat while,
The one thing smart thing this guy. Well, actually, he's protected. Whatever. We don't.
This smart. He just looks ridiculous. Yeah.
And he's got gloves on, which I do. Oh, he has like the yellow dish gloves. Stepping it up there, not disposable. Which I think disposables makes more sense.
Yeah, it does. If people stop throwing them in the street, which also is bullshit.
Oh, you seeing that?
Yeah, everywhere. The disposable gloves just laying in the ground. Like, it's just like the dog shit poop we talked about earlier. People leave them in the bags. Like, that stuff doesn't just melt away. Like, you got to throw it in the garbage, man. Come on.
I think gloves would be worse than the. I feel more safe picking up dog poop than I would somebody else's gloves.
Yeah.
All right, we got more Florida news, Zach. Florida man hangs giant toilet paper roll in front yard as a humorous way of, I guess, just he's kind of doing a BS thing where it's like, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Here, you want toilet paper? Here's toilet paper. He made this giant thing. His name is Donald Ryan, owner of a arts and crafts business called Who Would Want Wonder. Now, Wood is WOOD.
Yeah, clever.
Would Wonder.
Yeah,
do you get it?
Smart man. He's gonna have some crazy asshole coming over trying to wipe his butt on his giant fake toilet paper. He's gonna get up in the middle of the night. There's be a guy out there like climbed up in like the structure that he's got hanging on, just like wiping himself off on that thing. It's going to be our BS story next week. Florida man nude in another Florida man's front yard wiping his ass.
Oh, goodness. Well, you said a giant asshole is going to come over and try to toilet paper. I took it very literally. So anyways. And Donald says, I had the pulleys and the trees all along because I do Christmas decorations up there, and it was just it was kind of a fun way of putting everything to use. The whole idea is crazy, this whole toilet paper phenomenon. So Donald Ryan found the BS at the world and found a way to laugh at it, which is what we do.
Yeah.
It's 3 Florida men here. We got another one. Man exposes himself after hacking into online Florida class. So
you got to watch out for them Zoom bombers these days.
Yeah. This is great. I mean, this is during a college class, I believe. I'm sorry, Orange County Public Schools. I guess they have like a hangout sort of. You can get in and then you could be in the waiting room. And he decided, I'm going to jump in there and I'm going to take off my clothes and film myself.
Streakers are taking it digitally now, Dave. It used to be a man in a trench coat that would just be naked underneath and and then just run away. And now it's Zoom bombers just standing in front of the camera, full nude.
Let's hope nobody jumps into this one. Oh, man. I mean, do you think you're not going to get caught? Because, I mean, maybe this is the wave of the future, like a digital flash or Zoom bombing.
Yeah.
Zoom bomb flashing, but it's pretty easy to track you down, isn't it?
Yeah, criminals are getting stupider as like technology goes on. Criminals are getting more stupid. I'm calling someone stupider. I'm the idiot here. But yeah, that's what's happening. Like technology is getting better, and people are saying, "Hey, I can commit crimes in different ways," but they're just more idiots. They're doing it in more dumber ways.
Oh, they're trying to get. Yeah, right. I mean, people are cleared off the streets, so your normal guy in the trench coat who flash everybody, there's no one to flash. So he's got to be a little bit inventive, but in the same way, you're doing it digitally, you're just going to get yourself caught. So just don't do it. Just stop. So that was 3 Florida men. Now we do have a woman here. Quarantined woman in Florida walks dogs in an inflated uniform costume to avoid coronavirus. And there's a video here. This is stupid, right? I mean, what do you think?
I don't know, man. I mean, if I saw this in person, I would lose my mind. I mean, like, is she on? I would think at first I would think okay, this woman's just on drugs, but this is the new normal of the world right now. You know, I mean, like, it's kind of like the people that wear the inflatable T-Rex costumes to go like pick up their kids from school and embarrass them. I guess it's kind of similar to that, but
yeah, it looks the same.
yeah,
But, you know, the thing is that this isn't going to work. I mean, you can't. In other words, if it's to protect you, you can't put this thing in the washing machine. You know,
yeah.
it has no
Yeah.
real use other than just for show.
You
which
got to
is
like
fine.
stay inflated and like have someone spray you down while it's inflated, and then you can take it off and deflate it. You know what I mean?
Do like I'm sorry, like Lysol all over you, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every house needs a clean room. We should run for president and like, well, you know how like in hospitals, how in like an operating, there's like a clean room where there's like a little container where people go in to get washed off, and then they leave that room to go into the operation room. There needs to be a clean room in every house. That should be a topic for presidential candidates.
Yeah, I support that. Everyone should mandate a clean room. Yeah, like just like a decontamination. I like to go a little further, more like science fiction, where you just walk in and like just
you just walk in, like the air blows on you and it blows everything off of you.
All right, Zach, let's move on to our hilarious high-speed chase. This one is gold. U.S. man teaching dog how to drive arrested after high-speed chase.
I mean, he's just teaching his dog how to drive. What normal person wouldn't do that?
Oh, this comes from this is a Yahoo story. It says the incident unfolded Sunday afternoon. Police received calls about a driver hitting two vehicles in an area south of Seattle and then speeding away. They traveled. It was a car traveling more than 100 miles an hour, and the officer said that they got close to the vehicle. A 1996 Buick were shocked to see a pit bull in the driver's seat and a man steering and pushing the gas pedal from the passenger side.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, Dave.
Because when we took him into custody, he admitted to our troopers that he was trying to teach his dog to drive. He says, "I've been a trooper for 10 years. I've heard a lot of excuses when I've arrested or pulled people over, but I've never heard that the dog was driving." What do you got? I mean, it didn't say he was on drugs, but I mean, I don't see any other option here.
Yeah, he had to have been. I mean, unless he watched all those old car insurance commercials where the golden retrievers are driving the cars and shit. Like, he watched too many of those and thought, you know what? Or maybe he was like planning for the future. Like, I need to teach my dog so that way I don't get any more DUIs. You know what I mean? Personal driver.
It is not a bad idea. I wish, because I got a dog. It'd be great if she could drive me around.
Yeah.
Put on a little cabbie hat and take me around the town. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably not.
A dog does not know that it's even in a car.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't even get my dog to go outside and shit when I need it to. I won't be able to get it to drive a car. So
I mean, like the dog knows to like jump into this thing, and then I go for a ride. But it like you put that thing in front of the wheel, and it doesn't know gotta go left. Like,
I like imagine that guy like putting his foot on the gas, like on his hand on the gas pedal and brake and steering it, like actually shouting out directions to the dog. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta put your turn signal on. The dog's just up there like,
just put it on cruise control. Forget about the pedal.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So, Zach, we might have some promising news on the vaccine front for the coronavirus. Benson & Hedges cigarette giant British American Tobacco claims that it has developed a coronavirus vaccine made from tobacco plants and can manufacture 3 million a week starting in June. So this sounds like they've got it, right?
What if it's just like a pack of cigarettes, Dave? If your lungs are destroyed, you can't get coronavirus. It's like that meme of the guy like...
Thinking ahead. I mean,
kill your lungs and you can't get the virus.
That's what it is, right? I mean, it just keeps here. It's a vaccine. Have one. You won't get sick. I mean, I think that's the BS, right? I mean, that BS and / irony, right? I mean, think that people who make things that destroy your lungs are going to give you the vaccine to help save your lungs. I don't know. Something about that doesn't sit right.
Yeah. And then after we save your lungs, buy a carton of cigarettes for us.
Well, that's like double protection. Take the vaccine. Yeah, I don't know. So I mean,
maybe the vaccine they're making will counter effect like the nasty effects of cigarettes on your lungs. So if you take what they're selling, then you can smoke without risk of lung cancer. Maybe that's where maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe they're just using the whole coronavirus as a way to test that.
Wouldn't that be amazing, right? If they could actually.
Yeah, you could have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. That's like, yeah, you sell the thing. It'd be like, like a beer maker coming up with a thing that you can also drink that completely restores your liver.
That'd be amazing. Or that gets rid of your beer gut as you drink more beer.
Well, lots of good ideas today, Zach.
Yeah, man. We should start an invention podcast.
Now, we know, Zach, that, well, actually, we don't know exactly, but the speculation of the origin of the coronavirus out of Wuhan was it was an animal to human transmission, either from eating a bat or a pangolin, we don't really know exactly, but those are the speculations, and of course the wet markets in China. So places in China are reforming the practice of eating animals. In fact, on May 1st, you will no longer be able to eat a dog or a cat in Shenzhen. I mean, what took you so long here?
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Still can wait a month.
They do some weird shit over there, man. I saw a video on YouTube of a guy walking into one of those wet markets, and he grabbed a live frog, and just took its head and just like literally bit its head off while it's still alive. And it's like, that's the kind of shit that they do. I'm like, no wonder this virus got started, man. Like, it's like,
are you kidding me?
No, I'll send it to you after we're off the podcast.
No, I don't want to see it. Oh, that's insane. I mean, what do you? Look. Okay, let's be real clear about something. This isn't starvation issue, right? This isn't like, this is what people have to eat because times are tough or something. That's just, at least you can cook the frog and eat the legs, right? You don't have to bite the live head off. What are you getting from that?
I guess it's a delicacy. Want to keep traditions alive? I don't know, but
last week we talked about possible treatment recommended from the Chinese government. It was like panda bile duct or something.
Bear bile.
Panda bile, yeah.
Ugh.
So do they does that continue? Maybe they think certain parts of certain animals hold, like, I don't know, will make you healthy, give you vitality, improve your sex life, that kind of thing. I mean, you biting the frog head off because you think it's got some kind of a thing that's going to help something in your life that you need.
I don't know. They're just taking eating raw meat to a new level.
Oh, absolutely horrible. But I guess it is good news, right? Because they won't be eating cats and dogs.
Won't be eating
next
the
month.
poor dogs anymore. I don't have to see any more of those damn ads online. That's like, protect the dog, donate now and stop, help the fight on the dog meat industry and wherever. And they got to look at those pictures of those sad little dogs locked up in cages getting ready for the butcher.
Oh, just awful. All right, Zach, let's move on to our next bit of news here. And I got three groups of stories grouped into what I'm calling elite hypocrisy, and where we're getting our leaders, our betters, those who are advising us how to handle this crisis, sort of telling us to do one thing and yet doing another. This one comes from Scotland. Scotland's chief medical officer pictured visiting second home in Fife. Oh, isn't that nice? The Scotland's chief medical officer was basically caught doing that. And she's telling the whole country, telling everyone who will listen, stay home, shelter in place. Meanwhile, I'm just going to bug off to my vacation home. What do you think of that?
Yeah, man. I mean, they're all doing this, and they're not going to sit home and not do anything like the rest of us are. I will give Trump that I haven't seen any news of him going to the Mar-a-Lago, his resort down in Florida. At least he's been listening to his own shelter in place advice.
Yeah. He's not playing golf, not going out doing different stuff. So so that is good. So we haven't seen too much of that. Of course, you're going to get some celebrities and stuff like that, but that this annoys me though. I mean, she's to your point, public officials, or you don't see Dr. Fauci out on the beach or anything, right?
No, yeah, and this woman is the chief medical officer. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like she's just some person that doesn't give a shit about it. Like, that's literally her job is to make sure these things exist. You know what I mean? Yep.
And then here we go. There's a quote here. Last month, the Scottish government issued a travel warning criticizing irresponsible behavior of people with second homes and camper vans traveling to the Highlands in a bid to isolate. Well, I guess Oh, well.
Yeah.
Good for thee, but not for me.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our next one. This is I found this really, really irritating. I'm sure you've all heard of Vox Media. They put out something earlier in March. There's a series of articles, and one of them, this is a part of a tweet, and it says, this is how to advise people to how to handle and prepare themselves for the coronavirus. It says, in face masks, you can pass on them. Masks are only useful if you have a respiratory infection already and want to limit the risk of spreading, or if you're working in a hospital in direct contact with people who have respiratory illness. Okay, so that's how Vox Media advised the general public not to get face masks. And then a couple days ago, in early April 2nd, Matthew Iglesias, the co-founder of Vox, is saying to people asking where you could buy a face mask, I don't know. I ordered mine in February when they were available.
Yeah.
Well, how about that? You got this big media thing telling everyone not to get face masks. Meanwhile, you're buying them for yourself. What do you think about that, Zach? For hypocrisy.
It's just a dick move, man. It's just clearly doing it so that way he can stockpile them for himself. You know what I mean? Misinform the public so that way you can reap the benefits.
Yeah, I mean, don't buy them because I still need to get mine. And then once I've gotten mine, I'll now advise you to get your own.
Take a T-shirt and wrap it around your face like everyone else.
Yeah. Last one here, a little bit. I find this one a little bit more, not quite as annoying, but it's still kind of funny. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot defends getting a haircut amid coronavirus outbreak, saying that the stylist wore masks and gloves. Now, I'm with Lori. I need a haircut, or no one will cut my hair.
I had to get myself one last night. Just took the damn buzzers to my head.
That looks pretty good. It looks like
all right. I'm going bald anyway, so you can't really tell, but still.
You got it pretty good. I really like these quotes here because people are criticizing her for, essentially violating social distancing. Because even that story we talked about last week where the lady had the umbrella on, I mean, they're still touching you, I mean, that's about as you can't social distance with a haircut, really, unless you're in like a hazmat suit. But I like her defending it, She says, she said the woman wore a mask. And she says, I think what really people want to talk about is we got people dying here. We're talking about significant health disparities. I think that's what people care about most, not a haircut. And I think you can just say that about anything. I mean, what if she was out sailing or golfing? You just say, we got people dying in this city. And you're worried about me playing golf.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything you do, you just talk about people dying. She also said, she's the public face of the city. She says, I'm a person who I take my personal hygiene very seriously, and I felt like I needed to have a haircut. So I'm not able to do that myself, unlike Zach here.
Yeah.
She's like, you want to talk more about that? So she did not like getting any kind of pushback on that. I found her responses to be hilarious. I don't really blame her for getting a haircut. I just thought the way she reacted.
Yeah.
Cracked me up. What do you think, Zach? Should public officials be able to get a haircut?
No.
No, so you got to be like the rest of us, right?
Yeah, hell no. I don't care. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess if you got to be the face of a community or the face of a country and you got a janky hair, then, that's one thing. But, I mean, I guess they got private people that can come and do it for them.
I'd like to see what the Trump hair would turn into after like 6 months.
Yeah. You know damn well he's getting his hair cut.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
If it's even hair, do we even know that it's real hair?
No, we don't.
It would be like huge, right? It'd be this giant, it'd be like full.
Big hands, big hair.
Zach, is there anything else that's been ticking you off? Any BS that you've seen over the last week you want to hit on?
This fucking internet connection, Dave.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just going to throw it out there. We've been having the hell of a time recording this right now. For all of you watching or listening, it's been a bitch.
Yeah, absolute bullshit. I apologize. We've been stuttering seemingly like every 45 seconds or a minute. Someone freezing. We've been restarting, and it's been hitting our flow. So we apologize to you for that. We're doing the best we can with this bullshit in our lives. I'd love to know what all of you think about the items that we covered today. As we covered the ridiculous, the absurd, and the bullshit. Of course, we will be back here next week. I want you all to subscribe to this channel. Also, check out informedamerican.com, where a lot of crazy stories get posted. Also, very informative stuff. Zach, we also are on all the major podcast platforms, right?
That's right. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple, iTunes, podcast app, and other places as well. It's pretty much anywhere that you can find podcasts. So, not everyone can sit down in front of their computer for an hour. It's great for taking us on the go, whether you can't go anywhere. So if you're just walking around your house, doing chores or whatever, pop Dave and Zach in your ears and let us soothe you while you clean the house or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, and laugh at the ridiculous and all the crazy nonsense going on in the world. That way we can, sort of like our therapy session maybe, right? We can all just sort of sit back and be like, okay. Yeah. I'm through it. I've laughed. I'm through it. And then now I'm just ready to kind of get back to a little bit of normalcy. For Zach, I am Dave. I want to thank you all for watching, and I've had enough of this BS.
You've been listening to the BS Podcast with Dave and Zach, part of the Informed American Radio Network. Please like and subscribe today in order to get fresh new weekly episodes. Please send us your BS stories to info@informedamerican.com. The world is hard enough, and now we gotta deal with this bullshit.